Mohon peserta dari Indonesia bebas mengambil tempat dan tolong panitia peserta dari luar yang ada di belakang disilakan masuk. Nama dan bendera bebas ditukar gitu. Indosan, Satomisan, please come forward. You know, Endo is a former president of Japanese Muslim Association. Endo. Satomi-san, Indo-san, Ustadz Maino, please find seats in the first layer. Itu nggak harus dekat-dekat ya, Mas. Ya. I hope our moderator for this session is not sleeping. Professor Mustafa Sherik. Mohon kawan-kawan peserta dari Indonesia mengambil di baris depan atau kedua. Jangan baris ketiga. Mustafa Sherik. Please, a friend from the organizing committee to find Sheikh Mustafa Sherik. I'm wondering he's sleeping after the big lunch.
He's very energetic. Am I here? Yeah.
Yeah, I call him. Ada dari hotel, mohon ke depan sini. Bendera bisa ditinggal di pintu, nanti peserta dari negaranya bisa datang bawa dan mencari tempat sendiri. Oh, philosophers.
Assalamualaikum. Iya, iya. Mana drop ya? Oke, oke.
Tolong satu kursi bawa ke depan. Ayo gerak cepat panitia. Ambil aja kursi belakang itu. Petugas hotel ada, tolong bawa kursi pembicara ke depan satu. Dr. Nahla, please come forward. Tafadhali bil julus fil amam ya. Sebelum kita mulai, mohon peserta dari Indonesia mengisi baris di depan saja, tidak apa-apa berbeda bendera. Biar jangan kosong di depan. Prof. Hamid Fahmi, Dr. Andar Nubowo. Ustadz Budi Tanubowo, Ketua Matakin, Ustadz, isi depan dulu. Mas Budi. Dr. Nasirul Haq, ambil aja depan, bawa benderanya. Pak Chandra. Oh, As-Sayidat fil Amam. Sebelah sana masih kosong tuh. Ya, fadhal fil Amam. Mas Budi, dekat saya, Mas Budi, sini. Ini Tansir. Silakan ngambil kursi depan, please take the front seat. It doesn't matter with the flag.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina wa Nabina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon and welcome to the first session of the 9th World Peace Forum in Jakarta. I commend those who sacrifice their sleep in the room and come to this session. And I would like to tell them that you are privileged to be part of this session and these panelists that you have never seen them before in this form and this substance. So you should feel privileged and honored to be with us this afternoon. My housekeeper and my mentor and my brother and friend Shamsuddin instructed me strictly, and you know that in Malaysia you don't argue with the rules. You just follow the rules. Especially these 5 rules, as you know. How you call it? Pantagina. I will ask each panelist to speak 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And I have only 2 conditions. One condition is that they have truth, that, as you know, today the professors have been challenged by GTP. So some professors even protested in their classroom because the students are using GTP. And they say to the professor that the GTP is more intelligent than them. And they are very, very sad. So I prepared my lecture, which is 5 pages, and I used GTP to help me. So when you listen, somebody is reading something, we are in the position always to doubt whether it is from him, from his mind, or from the GTP, okay? Now, as Imam Ghazali said, that we are insan, human being, only by 4 substances, not by our physical looking. The spirit, ruh, the nafs, soul, the heart, qalb, and the mind, aql. So in our case, spirit is still with us, otherwise we could not even walk and breathe. The soul is with us because we are alive. And the heart is with us. Sometimes it is sleepy, sometimes it is awakened. But our problem is mind. Artificial intelligence have stolen our mind. So what I would ask my panelists, that they just leave their minds. I would ask them to speak 5 minutes by their heart. Don't read. Just say what is in your heart at this particular moment. You are in Jakarta, you are at the forum, World Peace Forum, and you have 3 subjects basically that are all about. First subject is one humanity. The second is one destiny. And the third is one responsibility. So I would ask the first speaker, who is Tan Sri Lee Kim Yu. Is he here? Don't use paper, just speak by your heart, by defining what is in your heart at this moment, what it means humanity. Please, have a floor.
Thank you. On this session, actually, I'm supposed to to share with everybody about the Wasatya and Tionghoa, the view of my view. And as a human being, throughout this session, last night until today, especially on just now at the Parliament Square, we talked about massacre, Kosovo, and I also visited Cambodia last year, and visited 4 million people got massacred. And sometimes I keep on thinking, how can this kind of thing happen? And to me, nothing much. We human beings, if the people who go and kill people like that, to me, they are sick. Their mind is sick. So as a human being, when we are sick, we can go to doctor physically. But when our brain, our mind is sick, you lost your humanity, then what you can only find, one solution, the word is education. And I think it's in absence of education, in absence of the loss of education, the failure of the education system, and I think we provide human beings like that. So the main key thing, even today, I'm here to share the Wasatya and Tionghoa. Hopefully, these 2 very old civilizations, our saints and sages have either in script, either in our Quran, in Confucius, we call it Alilic. Confucius also have a Sishu, it's called 大学中庸. And the 中庸stated very clear, 天命之谓性，率性之谓道，修道之谓教. Talk about education again. Mean 天命, 之谓性. Everybody, when you're born, when they sing. And this sing actually is when you're born, that everybody in Confucius is also, there's a belief, everybody born as a fine, pure, fine person. And why your character become so cruel. When you grow up, you go and massacre and kill people like that, So, and also, I like to really to share the history part on the root of the philosophy of Tianghua. And because history is the one can really become our greatest teacher. So actually, I'd like to share with everybody, before Confucius, before Taoism, Lao Tzu, Taoism, and after that, I think Buddhism from India come to China. And China, these three main religious teaching, and mixed with even Islam. I think 1,500 years ago, that Nabi Muhammad said, go to China. Everybody said, translate China. I want to collect it. Actually, is that time, Tang Dynasty, there's no country concept yet. So it must be, say, you go to Tianghua. And that lead me to say, Wasatya and Tianghua, actually, they're in spiritual, in philosophy, in culture, in value. There's many, many similarities. And because I only have 5 minutes, and I would like to also quickly, beside this route on the philosophy, before this, actually, China, before Confucianism, there is called I Ching. I Ching maybe even further. History maybe go back to 5,000 years. And actually, Confucianism, Taoism, Buddhism, I believe many, many philosophy, many, many culture are in heritage from I Ching. And I like to also say, from Tang Dynasty, when go to Tang Dynasty, one of the China best civilization, the whole world go there. I got 1 minute left.
1 minute.
Okay. Then I just say, going forward very quickly, go to Ming Dynasty, and then go to Qing Dynasty. When come to 1911, China, the country is called Zhonghua Mingguo. But unfortunately, many people don't understand using the word Zhonghua. They call Zhongguo, actually it's short form. And come 1949, it called Zhonghua Renmin共和国. Now is the mainland. So the word Zhonghua. So I just want everybody, maybe I ask for 1 more minute. Just 1 more minute.
Half a minute.
Half a minute. Okay, look at this. This is the name word of Zhonghua. In fact, Zhong means Wasatya. Hua actually with this word, actually Chinese word actually is a calligraphy. It's like image. You look at it, this is actually all humans, everybody has to adopt to this. Actually, as long as you build a human, this is called 草字头. It means all the nature, mother nature. And with the mother nature, human, we have to work very hard. And then we got 2 people, 1 man, 1 woman, called yin and yang, I Ching. And the most important thing, 10 here. So I want to end here this 10, that everybody for you to think. Confucianism is 孝悌仁义礼义智信仁智. These 10 value. And in Islam, 孝 means filial piety. So I cannot go into the detail because I have a minute. But these 10 in the Christian maybe called 10 commandments. So that is the meaning of Tianghua. So Tianghua is not what you call a place or country name. It's a way of culture, it's a way of philosophy. And I'm here in this classroom to learn from other speakers also. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Mr. Tan Sri Lee, I am sure that your wife said to you that you have good heart. But today you have shown to us that we can say also that you have a good heart. So your heart can join our heart is humanity. So we did understand from your speech, for you talking, what is humanity. So we are one humanity. And if we go further to the Chinese philosophy, we will probably become even more human than we are. So probably next year or next forum in 10th, you will get more time to speak. Now, our second panelist is Dr. Van Lijin, chairman of the Silk Road International Foundation, China. And the same, because we explored as much as we could in from one speaker, what is one humanity? The second question for the second panelist is, what is in your heart, one destiny? Just don't read, just tell us from your heart. 5 minutes, please.
Okay, so thank you. I think this question is the future of the human being.
Good.
Yeah, and I just wrote a book. I call it the value-based civilization. It's talk about at the digital era, what will be the future. So today, I think the forum, the theme of forum is the Wasayat and Zhonghua for the global collaboration. I think it's also for the global future, the human being future. So for the future in the book, I actually created a functional model of human civilization. Is tell how to use the Chinese or Zhonghua civilization is Dao and Shu. Dao means is the soul of the civilization, and the Shu is the tool of the civilization. Actually, the Dao is the soul of the human civilization, including the Wasayat, Zhonghua, in the same. And Wasayat and Zhonghua, and even other, today we have from Arabic countries and other countries, all the civilization the same. We should have how to use this, the fairness, the justice, modernization, and harmony. Also the principle and the basic policy or basic speech of the human being. This is the key of the civilization. So we should unite the Dao and Shu together, then we can create a new civilization. I give the name of value-based. Value-based, we should have the common consensus for the value of the human being. Not only use the tools, technologies, especially nowadays, a lot of problems in the world, uncertainty, conflicts, even the war. I think it is overestimated, the Dao. The Shu. They use the tools to try to manage the world by the Shu. We should use the Dao. So we should follow the common principle, the common spirit of the human being. That's the key. That's why I think this forum is very good. So almost have the similar concept in my book. So time limited, I will not talk too much because I visited so many countries, almost 100 countries. Most of them are Muslim majority. I really learned a lot from this civilization. Although I also wrote it from China, that's all Chinese civilization. So this, they have this common, I think they have a similar soul or similar principle for the human being. So I call on everybody, just not, the moderator said, we should not only focus to see the GDP. We should, the spirit, the principle of the human being is more important than the others, even more important than technologies. Otherwise, we will have no peace, no, civilization. Thank you.
Thank you very much. you have spared 1 minute, so later on I will ask you to use this 1 minute. So I understood from your ideas from the heart that our destiny is on this planet, one destiny. So we have not yet the agency for traveling to any other planet. So we have to stay here, whether we like it or not. So because of that, because the destiny of the destiny, we have the destiny which we cannot change, but follow the destiny. Say qadr, we say that in qadr. So we are in the line of destiny. I wish you could explain us more about how it is important that we as humans understand that our destiny is one. So one killed child in Gaza is not killed in Gaza. And we have it in the Old Testament and in the Quran. من قتل نفسا بغير نفس فكأنما قتل الناس جميعا. Whoever kills one person, innocent, it is as he has killed the whole humanity. And if he saves one person, it is as if he saved the whole humanity. Not only in the Holy Land, but anywhere in the world. So thank you very much, Mr. Dr. Wan Regine. You have a good heart. Now, our next speaker is my beloved and dear Professor Dr. Osman bin Bakr, Rector Bakr, we say, Rector of the International Islamic University of Malaysia. I am so pleased to sit on side with him because I read many of his books, ideas, and sometimes I was scared of these ideas, whether I can comprehend them all. So I am so pleased that I have him speak not from his mind, but from his heart, about the third principle of World Peace Forum, and which is the meaning of responsibility. One humanity, one destiny, one responsibility. Please, Professor Othman, you have the floor.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And good afternoon. Thank you very much, Professor Din Shamsuddin, my good friend, distinguished activist, intellectual activist, for inviting me. Now, concerning the common responsibility of humanity. Humanity is one. When we speak about the common human responsibility, is to understand what is humanness. What is the meaning of humanness? What is it that makes us human? There are many things that make us human, but one of these is basically the commitment of every one of us, regardless of our religion, of our beliefs. That is our commitment to the idea of middleness, idea of moderation, idea which is implied by the word wasatya in Arabic, and also with several other words in the other languages, which I'm going to tell you shortly. So I think this is a very important thing, that what is it that makes us human? It is our commitment to truth and justice, and that truth and justice is embodied in the concept of middleness. The word wasatya is based on the Quran, which is therefore based on revelation. It is in Surah, in the second chapter of the Quran. كَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا لِتَكُونُوا شُهَدَاءَ عَلَى النَّاسِ يَكُونَ رَسُولٌ عَلَيْكُمْ شَهِيدًا. Translation: thus have we created you, people of the middle path, the middle community, that you may be witnesses. You may be witnesses over other nations, and the Rasul, the messenger, is witness over you. Now, in other words, to me then, the most important responsibility is for all of us to be witnesses, shuhada, to witness the truth and our common truth, because our hearts, our mind accept that they are universal truths that bind all of us. So that commitment is very, very important. The word, of course, was satya. The root word, the etymological meaning means just to be at the center, to be in the middle. And of course, as far as the conceptual meaning of the word, which goes beyond the physical, it is middleness, not just in terms of physical thing, but also in terms of values, in terms of ideas, in terms of beliefs, and I'm very, very, it's very, very interesting that this idea is not only found in Islam. Al-Quran just came to reaffirm the universal truth that's always been held by humanity before Islam. Thus, for example, in Buddhism, the word was used for this wasatya is madhyama pratipada. Well, of course, those, for example, the Malay, the Nusantara people, just reduced that to madhyapada. And I saw that in Jakarta, there are buildings with that madhyapada, which means that basically the spirit of that middleness. Yeah? In Malay, this treasury of ethical wisdom, buat baik berpada-pada, buat jahat jangan sekali. Means be moderate forever, but as far as the evil thing, abstain forever. So I think it is very, very important. Now, what about the Confucianism, Chinese religion? It is Chung-Yung. Of course, our friend Tan Sri, he wants to talk more on the Tionghoa. Yeah? Tionghoa. Of course, my former university has a big department called Jabatan Tionghoa. But I think as far as the discourse among Muslims and Confucianists in China, their discourse in China, they use the word Chung-Yung. So that is the Chinese language. Yeah? And then English language, the Western tradition, of course, is the golden mean. So basically, when you look at all the traditions of the world, the focus is, one of the focal points is to be in the middle. So I think if all humanity refer back to their spiritual tradition, religious tradition, then they discover they all share. It's very, very important. And the world, our world, will be a better place in the future if we all agree that this is one of the ideas that we all should bind us together as members of humanity. I think it's a very, very, very important concept, but this should be reflected in our education system, in other words, in schools, this is elementary school, high school, and of course universities. This concept, of course, is not simply an ethical concept that is limited to it is a civilizational concept. We need to build a civilization, a common civilization, because civilizations can be in the plural, civilization in the singular. At the moment, we are interested in the civilization in the singular that will bind us with just a common civilization. And I think the different religious traditions provide so many ideas that are common to us. I think it's high time to return to this very, very important wisdom in humanity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor. Dr. Rahman, he basically summarized all these three basic mottos of World Peace Forum: humanity, destiny, and one responsibility. So, since the title of this session is the Wasatiyya in Islam and Tionghoa in Chinese, so we can conclude from these three presentations that Wasatiyya and Tionghoa, is it correct? Tionghoa. Okay, I will learn later on from you. So we have a common understanding of what is humanity, one destiny, one responsibility, which was very clearly explained by Dr. Othman in the sense that God has asked the mountains the heaven and the earth to take responsibility on the earth planet. So they refused because they were afraid. But then when man was asked, would you accept the amana on this planet, then man said, yes, I will do, but because he is ignorant and he's hasty. So responsibility in Islam, as Dr. Osman explained, is amana. So every one of us has amana, individually and collectively. So we are all one humanity, one destiny, and one responsibility. Thank you, Dr. Osman, again. Now, my next speaker is Professor Dr. Ismail Lutfi Japakia, Rector of Fatoni University, Thailand. And his task is to explain to us what is the world. What is the world? What is the situation of the world? Because we have two words: world, peace, and forum. So your task is to explain to us by your heart, how do you feel about world today, dunya? Please have the floor.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله، اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد. أولاً نشكر اللجنة المنظمة، الجهة المنظمة بقيادة أخينا الفاضل البروفيسور دكتور دين شمس الدين وجماعته. ثم نقول لكم بأن اجتماعنا هذا المبارك من أجل أن نصل إلى الفهم المشترك، من أجل أن نقوم بالمسؤولية المشتركة أمام العالم كله، ولله الحمد. كما تعلمون أن دين الإسلام هو دين الرحمة، دين الوسطية، وكذلك جعلناكم أمة وسطا لتكونوا شهداء على الناس. على هذا الأساس الوسطي يأتي السلام، يأتي الخير. كل آيات القرآن كلها وسط، كل تطبيق نبوي لكتاب الله القرآن الكريم كله وسط. لا يوجد هناك حديث صحيح ولا آيات قرآن إلا وفيها وسط. فالوسطية هي القرآن والسنة، هذا هو الأساس الوسطية، وعليها يأتي السلام. والسلام الشيء المطلوب لدى فطرة جميع الناس، سواء كان هو مسلم أو غير مسلم. ولذلك نعم نريد أن نفيد الأحباب بأن الإسلام دين السلام. يبدأ من إسلامه يسلم نفسه لرب العالمين، ثم يسلم غيره من العالم رحمة للعالمين، ويدعو الناس إلى هذه الرحمة التي جاء بها الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم. لا إكراه في الدين، الإسلام لا يكره أحدا ولا يكره أحدا، هكذا هو الإسلام. وإنما عليه أن يدعو الناس إلى السلم والسلام، يدعو الناس إلى تسليم دينه، إلى تسليم نفسه إلى دين الله. فلذلك نحن حقيقة أمة وسطا هو منهج خير أمة. من هنا يأتي معنى خير الأمة التي أخرجت للناس، ليس أخرجت للمسلمين فقط، هكذا خير الأمة أخرجت للناس جميعا، يتعامل مع الناس على أساس الوسطية، على أساس السلام، على أساس الخير، وعلى أساس التوسط بين جميع المطالب. ولذلك السلام أو الوسطية المقصودة من خلال هذا المعنى الحقيقي هو الوسطية، أهم شيء بين مطالب الروح ومطالب الجسد، حيث لا يطغى بعضه على بعض. وكذلك الوسطية بين مطالب هذه الدنيا الفانية وبين الحياة الأخروية الأبدية الدائمة. الحياة بين مطالب الفرد والمجتمع والدولة، وكذلك الوسطية بين الإنسانية نفسها، بين الرجل والمرأة، بين الوالدين وبين الأولاد، وهكذا الوسطية تشير إلى جميع حياة البشر كلها، مرافق البشر في حياتهم. فوسطية هي سنة الله في الكون، ووسطية هي سنة الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم في الشريعة وفي التطبيق البشري. ولذلك الوسطية يعنى به العدل، فالعدل نعم هو الاعتدال، كذلك التوازن، وكذلك الأفضل والأقوم والخير نعم والكرامة، كل ذلك يأتي عن طريق الوسطية والسلام الإسلامي. ولله الحمد والمنة، القرآن يأتي بهذه الأمور لهذا السلام ولهذه الوسطية للعالم. فنظرا للوقت الضيق جدا أود أن أقترح في التوصيات. أول شيء لابد أن نربي جميع الناس من الأولاد إلى المشايخ فقه السلم والسلام، علما بأن جامعة فطاني تفرض على كل طالب في كل المستويات أن يتعلم أو يأخذ مادة السلم والسلام. هذه مادة GE General Education، ضروري كل طالب يأخذ هذه المادة. ولذلك الحمد لله من خريج الجامعة فطاني دائما كلهم رافعون راية السلام أمام الجميع، سواء كان من تايلاند نفسها أو في خارج تايلاند. فلا يوجد ولو واحد من خريجين بعشرات الألوف ولله الحمد من يقوم ضد السلام، ولله الحمد والمنة. والأمر الثاني، نريد أن من هذا المنبر أن يصدر نشرة أو رسالة عن السلام يأتي عن طريق جميع، مثلا على الأقل بين الإسلام وبين تشونغهوا، نعم في رسالة، سواء كان رسالة ورقية أو رسالة أونلاين، نعم يصدر من هذا المجتمع، نعم. وكذلك الديانات الأخرى، سواء كان البوذي، سواء كان أي دين في العالم، نجمع في كتاب واحد بأسلوب مبشر، نعم بمعنى الحقيقي للوسطية التي هي أساس للعدل، أساس للسلام في العالم. وشكرا جزيلا. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
شكرا جزيلا لفضيلة الشيخ على هذه البيان والتبيين والتوضيح الوسطية في القرآن. وعندي فقط سؤال تجيب عليه بنعم أو لا. هل عالمنا اليوم في أزمة؟ I would like to ask our panelists here, is our world today better off than 10 years ago? Is our world in crisis? Just yes or no? Can you answer?
Sorry, I didn't hear.
Is our world today in crisis? Fadilat Sheikh Ismail, I ask you.
If you ask the word,
No, I'm asking, I don't ask you, I'm asking my panelist.
نعم.
Now,
شكرا.
shukran. This crisis, is it crisis economical, moral, crisis of peace, or what? Now, we will ask other panelists about this question. Thank you very much, Dr. Ismail Lutfi. Now I am going to the next panelist, Professor Dr. Amin Abdullah, Professor of Islamic Philosophy, State Islamic University of Sunan, Kalijaga, Indonesia. Now, we have this title of our movement is World Peace Forum. Now we have come to conclusion that our world in which we live is in crisis. This is what we have from our panelists. Now, the second word of this title is peace. I would like our Dr. Ahmed Abdullah to, to speak, to tell us what he feels in his heart about the peace, especially when he finished his prayer, he says always, Assalamu alaikum. What peace means to you? Sorry. Okay, you have the floor.
Shukran. Thank you, Dr. Mustafa Charik. And also I want to thank to Pak Din and his partners for inviting us here. Your questions is very, very important, that we are now, the humanity today is not only in crisis, but in multiple crises. Multiple crises. Theologically, socially, economically, geopolitically, and so forth, culturally. So multiple crises is in front of us. So what do we mean by peace here then? Because this morning, there is a das sollen and das sein. Das sollen, it should be peace, or our salam, our greeting in all religions, using peace. Peace be upon you. That's fine, but this is like a dua, like a dua, prayer. But in reality, there are many, many problems actually. In all civilization, there are many, many problems. In front of me here, our guest, our distinguished guest, it comes from many adherents of religion, for example. Not only Islam, but we have Christians, we have Confucianism, we have Hinduism, we have Catholicism and Protestantianism. So this is, of course, these religions have invaluable teaching, doctrine, and so forth. But the problem is on the earth. So in my mind today, Dr. Cherry, we have to reconstruct our education system. Not only by slogan, the big slogan, but how to put this recommendation, these resolutions, whatever you have, into practice. In the practice of social life, social education, educational education. I have three in my mind to go to that peace. So not only slogan, but please check what happens in our education. What happens in education, in religious education, in public education, and whatever. In my mind, in today's multiple crises, there are three competences that should be given into the teachers, into the lectures, into all the students. The first, personal competency. Three competency what we need today to get that peace. The first is personal competency. Means you have to know your religion holistically, not selectively by reading the Quran, by reading the Bible, by reading and so forth. But we have to see the holistic of our religiosity. This is the first, not selectively. What we have today, they read their Bible or Quran or whatever Veda selectively. This is the problem. Okay? The second one, because our today is like multicultural and multi-religious, like what we have in this room, so the comparative competence should be put on higher priority. Comparative perspective, not only single and mono perspective. Comparative perspective means, like what you have in our table here. You are Muslim, there are Confucianism, we have Buddhism there, and so forth, and so forth. But in our education, it doesn't happen. So the second one, as I said, comparative perspective or comparative competence for all teachers and da'i should have these capabilities. The third one, collaborative perspective. How can, maybe you have diversity, yes, alhamdulillah we have diversity, but we have lita'arafu lil hujurat. Al-hujurat lita'arafu means collaborative. If we can side by side, but we cannot know each other, so it fails to get that peace. Once again, let me highlight, to get that peace, because of this multiple crisis, we need the three competencies today. The first, personal competency. The second one, comparative competence. And the third one, collaborative competence. Without that, I doubt whether we can have that kind of peace or not. Thank you.
Thank you very much. If you are at the University of Chicago, where I studied, you would get A degree. Excellent for this explanation of peace. But also you reminded me what Dr. Osman was telling before about one civilization, one humanity, one destiny, one responsibility, and one civilization. So, should I remind you of on Huntington, who said that the clash of civilizations, right? And I think that Dr. Osman doesn't agree with him. We don't have clash of civilizations. We have the clash of madness. You know, a madman is clashing with the man-made. But generally speaking, if we imagine now that we have one civilization global, what do you think, what was the road to come to this stage of this global civilization? I can imagine, from slavery to freedom. It was a long road, okay? From might to right, right? From mythology to science, and from the theory of state of Al-Farabi, Platon and Farabi, to the legitimacy of state, which is democracy. So let me repeat again. From slavery to freedom. I remind you of Martin Luther King, right? Second, from might to right, universal declaration of human rights after the Second World War, right? Third one, from mythology to science. Science explained to us that we are not created. We are evaluated, we went to the process of evolution. I don't want to mention Darwin. We don't need to mention him now. And finally, theory of state, utopia, to the legitimacy of state. Now I am afraid that we are at the crossroad, going in reverse. We are now going from the freedom to slavery, from the right to the might in Palestine, from the science to mythology explaining that my land is my land because I am told in the Bible that it is my land. This is mythology. And finally, we are not talking anymore about legitimacy. We are talking about theory, who is going to win by money in democracy. So I was inspired by your competency to understand personally and all of this. Anyway, now, thank you, Dr. Amin Abdullah, and our next speaker is not from the philosophy, it is from economy. Datuk Dr. Haji Mazlam bin Ahmed, Group Executive Chairman of Capital Investment Bank, Malaysia. You. So you heard us theologians, philosophers, we talk about the sky. Now put us on the,
Do,
on
do
the
you
down.
want to be seated in the session 3 or no? Session 3 or session 1?
Oh,
Better session 3.
I am on the list. He's on my
Yes.
list. Don't take my man.
But if you
Okay?
don't mind.
Please.
Assalamu alaikum and a very good afternoon. I just came back from London where we attended Global Peace Forum, also organized by British Parliament. The moderator asked me, Dr. Mazlan, you've got a 1 minute together with Elon Musk. What do you like to say to him? I just say, I want to say to him to become an insan, human. Insan means you have this quality. You have the best IQ, the best EQ, emotional maturity. Then, of course, you must have also the best spiritual. So spiritual means you must, whatever that you do, must connect to the God, the Creator. That's where we talk about a lot on sustainability. We talk about sustainability developmental goals, the 17 pillars. We talk about ESG, environment, social governance. But to me, the closest meaning of my understanding, sustainability is nothing but barakah. The moment we achieve barakah in our life, as a parents, as a company owner, business owner, as a leader of a country, as one of the members in this planet, barakah means we get the blessing, the love, the peace of our Creator, which is God, and can be Buddhist, Christian, Hindu, or whatever, that we all believe in God. So the moment we achieve sustainability, barakah means we will get the whole world. The whole prosperity will be under our hand. So this is where, to us, to achieve prosperity, we have no choice but 3 things that we must achieve. The first thing is about the mindset change. Mindset change means we are rahmatul lil alamin. If we have produced a product, we have produced services, that product services must be category as international, global standard. If you have a good product that we love so much, produced in our country, we must make sure that product can also be consumed, used by other members part of the world. So this is rahmatul lil alamin. That's why we must share the goodness of rahmatul lil alamin. The second thing is about digitization. Whether we like it or not, now with the influx of technology, the drone, AI, blockchain, robotic, so much so that we can reach out and share the goodness with all the people. So digitization means today, if we want to share something virtual, good deeds, then we can share very easy. Just imagine, for the past 10 days, I was traveling 10 countries, from China, Dubai, London, Timor-Leste, and of course, Manila, within 10 days. That will not possible if I go by boat. But with the plane, we can reach out different destiny within short span of time. The third is that we have to use enterprising mentality. Means we must encourage anybody to be entrepreneur. Today, Alhamdulillah, in Malaysia, we know one of the component of our banking system based on interest, which is riba. That's why in Malaysia, we are targeting by next year, we will have the first Islamic finance institution that using wakaf as a concept and digital as our tools. And talking about what to do, we are very clear. Globalization, digitization, and also, of course, enterprising. And how can we achieve this? How can we achieve this barakah? How can we achieve sustainability? But the first, we cannot work in silo. We cannot work alone. We must work together. I remember my first time stepping into mainland China during my school day. I founded Mandarin Class Society in International Islamic University. I told my students, if you can reach level 3, I will bring all of you to visit China. Then you can learn the first language, but more important than language is the culture. And 1992, China was very underdeveloped, but today, 360 degrees. What makes China is different from the rest of the world? Because the culture. And I'm very happy today we can learn, we can exchange, we can explore something very unique about Chinese culture. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Datuk Dr. Haji Mazlan, for reminding us that we have two pieces or two sort of peace, the peace in stomach and peace in mind or in soul. The peace in stomach is when you have food to eat. And if you don't have food to eat, then you are hungry. You are in starvation. And then you have to have peace of mind. If you don't have peace of mind, you are desperate and dangerous in the society. This is why we should remember that God subhanahu wa ta'ala reminded us in Surah Ilaf, إِلَافِ قُرَيْشٍ إِلَافِهِمْ رِحْلَةَ الشِّتَاءِ وَالصَّيْفِ فَلْيَعْبُدُوا رَبَّ هَذَا الْبَيْتِ الَّذِي أَطْعَمَهُم مِّن جُوعٍ وَآمَنَهُم مِّنْ خَوْفٍ. You know, when God subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to remind the people of Mecca who refused the message of Prophet, and he said, tell them that they should be grateful. Because of what? Because God has saved them from starvation, min ju', and وَآمَنَهُ مِنْ خَوْفٍ, and also saved them from fear. So two things are against peace. The hunger or starvation in stomach and insecurity in mind. Should I remind you what's happening in Sudan? Starvation. What's happening in Gaza? Starvation. It's not by the natural disaster. It is human-made starvation. So this is why we need peace. أَطْعَمَهُم مِّن جُوعٍ وَآمَنَهُم مِّنْ خَوْفٍ. This is the most important core of Islam, of wasatiyya. And I am sure that the Chinese concept also of collaboration. Now, thank you very much, Dr. Haji Mazlan, on this, I think, very enlightening contribution. Next, we are all men here, even though we talk about equality with women and everything. But I am glad that we have one woman that represents all the women in the world who are in bigger number than we men. You know, there are more female in the world than males. You know that? But she is representing on this panel all the women in the world. And I will give her a task which is harder than for men. You know, in the Middle Ages, historians, theologians were speaking about the Holy War the just war. And the first book that was written was not about the art of peace. It was written about the art of war. Okay? Now, how is it possible that this humanity, mankind, come to the point to think instead of the holy war about the holy peace? Instead of the just war, to think about the just peace. And instead of the art of war, how can we start thinking about the art of peace? This World Forum, the World Peace Forum is all about the art of peace. And I would now ask our dear lady, Dr. Nahla, and Nahla is the bee, right? Nahla. Nahla. Nahla, okay. Dr. Nahla Sabri El-Saidi, Dean of Faculty of Islamic Sciences, Al-Azhar University, advisor to Grand Sheikh Al-Azhar. No better source to speak about when in the Holy Land will prevail the holy peace instead of the holy war. You have the floor.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الأكرم الذي علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم وناط به حمل أمانة التكليف والقيام بأعباء الاستخلاف في الأرض للتوجه بالبشرية صوب خالقها وفق توجيه الوحي وكسب العقل، واعتبر الحوار والنقاش والمناظرة بالتي هي أحسن الطريق الأمثل لتحقيق القناعة الفكرية. الحضور الكريم، بداية أشكر سعادة الدكتور دين شمس الدين على هذا المنتدى وعلى هذه الدعوة الكريمة المباركة، وكنت قد أعددت ورقة في حدود 5 دقائق لأنه كلما ضاق الوقت كلما احتاج الكلام إلى انضباط، وليس لأنه كلام قد نقل أو استخدمنا فيه ذكاء اصطناعياً، ولذا أنا سأعدل عن هذه الورقة المكتوبة لأتحدث، لكن ليس بما في قلبي كما قال فضيلة الشيخ مصطفى، ولكن بما في قلبي وعقلي معاً، لأن الدين أمرنا بالتوازن بين العقل والنقل، بين القلب والعقل، بين الثوابت والمتغيرات، بين هذه الأشياء، فنحن مأمورون بالتوازن. ولن أطيل في هذه الكلمة القليلة لأننا أكثرنا جداً من الكلام، ولكني سأجيب إجابة موجزة عن سؤال قدم إلي: كيف يمكن أن نبدأ في التفكير في السلام؟ ليس علينا أن نفكر في كيف نصنع السلام، وإنما علينا أن نطبق المنهج الذي أمرنا الله به، فهو منهج شامل عادل، هو دستور من عند الله أمرنا باتباعه، وليس علينا إلا هذا. ومن أجل هذا أنا أقدم لهذا المنتدى هذا الاقتراح: أن تكون هناك لجنة تنبثق عن هذا المنتدى لتتابع التوصيات، لأننا بحاجة إلى أن نبدأ في التنفيذ، كل في صعيده وكل على مستواه. فالحاضرون كلهم من القيادات والمؤثرين في بلدانهم، وأنا باعتباري امرأة أتحدث عن ما ينبغي أن يقدم للمرأة على صعيد التعليم، فليس كل علم نافع للرجل هو بنافع للمرأة، لأن علينا أن نعد المرأة إعداداً آخر. فالمرأة لا تستطيع أن تصنع سلاماً إلا إذا كانت مهيئة لذلك فكرياً وعقلياً وثقافياً ودينياً. ليس عندنا عجز في القيم، القيم أنزلها الله وكفل لها الكمال والتمام، ولكن العجز في استخدامنا واستعمالنا وتدريب أنفسنا على هذه القيم. نحن بحاجة إلى مراجعات كثيرة جداً. فالأزمة إن كنا نسأل عن أين الأزمة، الأزمة أزمة فكر، ليست قيم. القيم موجودة، ولكن علينا أن نفكر كيف نصنع بها حضارة أخرى جديدة، كما صنعت تلك الحضارة الإسلامية التي سادت بالتوازن الذي أحدثه الإسلام في حياة المسلمين، فصنعوا تلك الحضارة فأنشأت لنا ابن الهيثم والخوارزمي وابن سينا وعلماء جمعوا بين العلم والخلق. هذه العودة نحن بحاجة شديدة إليها، ولن أطيل في هذا الحديث لأن علينا أن نتحرك الآن، ومعنا دستور عظيم غني ثري يكفينا عن أن نضع قواعد أو مناهج، فالمنهج قد وضعه الله وقد تكفل بحفظه. إنا نحن نزلنا الذكر وإنا له لحافظون. ولعل من عوامل حفظه مثل ذلك المنتدى الذي نجتمع فيه جميعاً من أجل أن نفكر كيف نصنع السلام. الحديث يطول ويمتد، ولكني أسأل الله أن يوفق هذا المنتدى إلى خطوات عملية على صعيد واقعنا المرير. وإن لم ننتبه لذلك مع الأجيال الجديدة التي ينبغي علينا أن نحسن تربيتها، سنعاني من الحروب والصراعات أكثر فأكثر. ولا يمكن أبداً أن نتصور سلام في ظل تجاوز للدين، لأن الدين هو الذي يضبط النفس، وهو الذي يضبط السلوك، وهو الذي يضبط التعامل مع الآخر. فالله عز وجل قد أمرنا: لا ينهاكم الله عن الذين لم يقاتلوكم في الدين ولم يخرجوكم من ديارهم أن تبروهم وتقسطوا إليهم. فاللهم اهدنا الصراط المستقيم، ووفقنا إلى أن نصنع سلاماً حقيقياً قائماً على اتباع منهجك ودينك. مرة أخرى أكرر شكري وتقديري للقائمين على هذا المنتدى، وأكرر أنه لا صناعة للسلام بتجاوز منهج الله، ذلك المنهج الثري الغني الذي فيه الكفاية. شكرا لكم، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. ولعلي أقول شيئا سريعا. عندنا هذه التجربة في الأزهر الشريف، فنحن عندنا 137 دولة، ما يتجاوز 60,000 طالب وافد، الباكستاني بجانب الأفغاني بجانب الهندي، بنغلاديش، نيجيريا، دول آسيا، أفريقيا. هذه صناعة صعبة جدا، ولكنها سهلة باتباع منهج الله، فالكل يعيشون في سلام ووئام وتعاون ورحمة وتآلف. شكرا لكم، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
ما كنت في شك أنها ستؤدي دورها في أحسن الصورة كما هي. أنت مثلت النساء في هذه المنتدى في أحسن التقويم، ونشكرك. وليس هذا غريبا من الذين يأتون من جامعة الأزهر ومن مصر الحبيبة أم الدنيا. لذلك نشكرك على هذه الكلمة الطيبة، والحمد لله. We have the last panelist, but not the least, who is Reverend Shiho Monara, Secretary General of Religions of Peace, Asia, Japan. I have to go to Japan once more to learn some of words. Now, I will not, to my friend Yoshihori, I will not give him my task. I will let him free to speak about the religions for peace. And you forgive me to say a personal thing. I am coming from Bosnia, as you know. I served as a Grand Mufti in Bosnia for 2 decades in war and peace. And I want to acknowledge here before His Excellency from Japan that Japan, yes, Shimaho, Niwano, Mr. Niwano, may God have mercy on him. He's passed away, right? I just want to acknowledge here that World for Peace, especially by the guidance of Secretary General Dr. Wendley, we should mention him. I called him bitter friend because he was pushing me for dialogue and I didn't want with the Orthodox Church, Serbian Orthodox Church. But he was so much insisting, and then I called him, you are my bitter friend like lemon for vitamin C, you know, vitamin C. Because you have 2 friends. You have sweet friends who tells you you are always right, even if you are wrong. These are sweet friends. You like these friends, especially rulers like these friends. And you have a bitter friend who tells you the truth that you don't like to see it, and this is bitter because lemon is a bitter, right? But it is good for your health. So Religion for Peace for me was a bitter friend. And Niwano invited us to Japan on the occasion of 60th anniversary of Niseko Sakayo. Yes, and he supported the peace reconciliation in Bosnia more than anybody else. So thank you on behalf of the humanity for your role in Bosnia and in Kosovo as well. You were present in Kosovo too. I participated so many times. And also to Japan, which is basically maintaining the function of the World Religions for Peace. You have the floor.
Thank you very much. Your detailed explanations. Hi, konnichiwa, minasan. I'm Secretary General of Asian Conference of Religions of Peace, ACRP, which was founded in 1976, 49 years history. So ACRP national chapter now is more than 20 countries. So we are multi-religious organization, including Muslim leader, Catholic leader, Buddhism leader, Hindu leaders, and of course, minority leaders come together, work together to address peace issues such as conflict resolution, addressing climate change, human rights protection, and human trafficking. So Professor Dinsham Sudin, he is honorary president of ACRP. Thank you very much. You are honorary president. Thank you, honorary president of ACRP. So this symposium theme is Wasatiya and Chigua. So this concept is highly similarity to Buddhism in Japan. So 1,500 years ago, the first constitution of Japan was enacted. So this construction was enacted by Prince Shotoku. Prince Shotoku is a strong belief in Buddhism. So principle of this constitution said, harmony is to be valued. Harmony is to be valued. So it was a definition of the nation forms of Japan. Since then, this idea has been held by many Japanese people today. However, despite this, exclusionism is now spreading in Japan as well, so unfortunately. So this requires deep discussion, so today and tomorrow. So on that case, I would like to insist one story. So one story is prioritizing individual in moral and ethical thinking rather than collective, rather than economic efficiently. A story is a Q Shirakawa Station in Hokkaido 10 years ago. The station is located in a remote place in Hokkaido. So due to depopulation, this station was used by only one high school girl student, only one high school girl student. Hokkaido Rail Company was supposed to not to operate train and close the station, but Hokkaido Railway Company kept railway running for that one student, preserving Q Shirakami Station until she graduated. I would like to inform you this story. This is we should value individual, not collective. So we should value more people, individual more. This is the idea of the currently I needed it. And the final point, I would like to insist, always discuss with ACRP colleagues. Dialogue is not dialogue without action. Dialogue is not dialogue without action. So the world may be horrified by one conflict and violence after another, even feel a sense of hopelessness. It is precisely in this bleak and difficult international climate, the message and action of trust, dialogue, cooperation, reconciliation, forgiveness become all the more necessary. Many people are undoubtedly longing for peace. I believe it is a mission of the religious leader to send out a message of encouragement, solidarity, forgiveness, reconciliation, cooperation, trust, and action to those who are needed people without ceasing. ACRP will celebrate 50th anniversary next year. Together with Lawrence Charles, he is now attending. In Singapore, ACRP will have a big assembly, 10th assembly, in order to reconsider the take action rather than dialogue. So ACRP predecessor, 50 years ago, we had the first assembly in Singapore, discussed. But at that moment, refugees from Indochina Peninsula flowed to the Bay of Singapore. Our predecessor immediately stopped the talking, then to help, move to help for the refugees, to charter 2 boats. Then in the charter, they evacuate, the refugees evacuate. 3 months provide humanitarian assistance. Then they managed to refugees to live in 3rd countries. So legacy of the ACRP is a take action. So I recall on the occasion of the next assembly. Thank you so much, our predecessors of Regions of Peace, Dr. Srich.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your good speech and also for keeping your time. Reverend Yoshihori, peace to Japan and peace to the whole. Very much for giving us this idea of action. So I am sure that we will think about it. Now, my dear brothers and sisters, we have 20 minutes for open discussion. But before I give the floor to anyone that will raise his hand for 2 minutes, to have many and 3 minutes to have few. So the decision is yours. But before I give you the floor, I would ask you to give to my panelists who were following the line of my dictatorship here at this session, and they basically responded to what I wanted to hear from them. Please give them, but not weak one. You know, we are very weak in clapping. Please give us one that is very, very sound. Please. Thank you very much. This is better than before. Now I open discussion. You please give your name and your title and follow the line of our discussion here. Who is the first? No courage? Is everything clear? So no questions? That means we did not provoke you. Okay, 2. Please. You are the first. Yes, please. Introduce yourself and say what is your heart.
Thank you very much. Syukran lakum. Muhammad Zaitun Rasmin from Indonesia. I'm a chairman of Wahda Islamiyah organization. Allow me to speak bahasa. Okay. They are translator for you, and I can speak Arabic also, but I think better I speak in bahasa. Pertemuan ini sangat penting, ya, dan sangat bagus untuk selalu dihidupkan. Untuk seperti kata Prof. Din, bagaimana terus menyuarakan, menggelorakan, mengutamakan perdamaian dunia. Tetapi kita, seperti kata Prof. Nahla tadi, kita harus lebih kepada bagaimana ada aksi-aksi, ada hal-hal yang bisa kita terapkan, yang bisa memberi sumbangan lebih konkret bagi perdamaian dunia. Walaupun itu berupa sosialisasi yang lebih masif yang kita lakukan di berbagai negara. Ya, misalnya dengan adanya kelompok-kelompok atau tim-tim dari peserta World Peace Forum ini yang sudah berlangsung 9 kali, yang bisa lebih bergerak lebih kuat ke berbagai negara, terutama yang memang mereka sebetulnya sangat memerlukan itu. Ya, kami ada pengalaman pergi ke India, menemani Menko Polhukam waktu itu, Profesor Mahfud MD, dan kita berdialog memberikan beberapa gambaran tentang bagaimana toleransi, wasatiyah dan lain sebagainya di Indonesia yang lebih menjaga perdamaian, dan di mana di India saat itu kami datang dalam kondisi yang ya memang sangat diperlukan gerakan dari para ulama, para scholars untuk berbagi, untuk sharing. Yang kedua, dalam forum penting seperti ini, ya, alangkah baiknya kalau hal-hal yang ada di depan mata tentang pelanggaran terhadap perdamaian, tentang persoalan yang sangat mengganggu, ya, hati nurani, akal sehat, tentang adanya suatu kekuatan yang tidak mau perdamaian. Ya, betapapun dunia telah berteriak Tapi mereka seperti la hayata liman tunadi, kira-kira begitu, ya. Mereka ada di lembah mana, suara-suara dunia di lembah yang lain. Maka saya berharap forum ini, ya walaupun barangkali tidak mengagendakan lulus, tapi mesti dalam tausiahnya perlu memberikan yang namanya pernyataan, misalnya tentang genosida di Palestina, ya, dan apa yang terjadi di Sudan. Tadi Prof. Mustafa sudah menyampaikan juga, sudah mention, ya, sudah berikan isyarat. Tapi kita berharap ini benar-benar sehingga terasa bahwa kita ini tidak berbicara di awan, kita berbicara di atas bumi. La natahaddath fi al-jaw, natahaddath 'ala al-ard. Fahada faqat iqtirah minni wa ana farihtu bima dzakarahu Syekh Mustafa عندما أشار إلى موضوع فلسطين وموضوع السودان. شكرا وجزاكم الله خيرا والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
شكرا جزاك الله خيرا جزاك الله خيرا. Next, please.
Good afternoon, panel, and first of all, Professor Mustafa, I'm a long admirer of your words since I met you in Religions for Peace International for 10 years, and I'm so happy to see you here. And I thank the various panelists. So as Dr. Shinohara said, I'm from Singapore and I'm the hosting chairperson for Religions for Peace next year. I'd like to respond to what the panelists have suggested on education. Especially, you know, we are in a very challenging period of artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence is a new form of American colonization because AI is only interested in data that it can make money from. And the majority of it is English. So my practical thought is, Dr. Din, whom I'm grateful that he invited us, I'm always amazed with the amazing people he gathers, very influential. And I'm just wondering whether we can exchange the projects that we are working on concretely to say, how can I work with you? How can I work with each other? For example, for the Singapore Religions for Peace meeting next year, I am very happy to work with anyone for youth education. We need a new generation of schools, but to be specific, many religions have schools, Buddhist, Muslim, Christian. Why we cannot have the alliance of all these religious schools for peace? And we need to use that influence because together we have thousands of schools under us. So this is one proposal. And if you are happy, we can talk about it for Singapore to launch a regional alliance for peace. The second project I'm working on is, you know, education needs financing. Impact project need financing. And when it is in many, many regions, faith-based social enterprises, they are doing a lot of amazing work, but they need funding. So a few years ago, in response to Pope Francis, he called us to reimagine, to change the rules of the economic system. And so next year, I'm working on another project, the world's first multi-faith fund. There is Islamic finance. There is no Christian, no Buddhist finance as part of it. Now, this is really important. If we want to mobilize our resources, we need to work together. So with open hands, I hope to work with everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my friend from Singapore. You have a good durian also, not only for peace, but also I tasted durian here in Indonesia. It's very good. I agree with you. This alliance, and Singapore is a very good candidate for that, for sure. I'm coming from Europe. Last century, you know, 20th century, Sarajevo was the beginning of the First World War, as you know, and Sarajevo ended the last century by the war. So you may appreciate something that I want to say. I have a great hope in Eurasia's people. And you know, in Europe today, no one talks about peace. Everyone talks about war. In my experience in the past, at least they were hypocrisy. They were hypocritically speaking, you know, about peace. Now, there is no even hypocrisy in peace. Everyone is talking about war. And the politicians are coming out and saying to the European people, please prepare for the war. So please take action, take initiative. You Asian society, and you can teach us better than we taught you so many centuries how to conquer you and how to colonize. Please colonize us now with peace, not with war. I hope that this message will be heard in two places when it should be heard. Thank you very much, and say hello to all my brothers in Singapore. Thank you. Now I will give my panelist, one panelist, Nahla from Al-Azhar, wanted to say in 2 minutes, very short. Please.
نعم، أؤكد على ما قاله المتحدثان الفاضلان من أنه لا بد من التعاون وأن نعرف ما عند بعضنا البعض. مثلا نحن عندنا في الأزهر قمنا بالعديد من البرامج، هي ليست للطلاب عندنا فقط وإنما نقدمها للعالم كله. يعني من الممكن أن نستفيد بها، ومن الممكن أيضا أن نستفيد ونعرف تجاربكم. نحن عندنا برنامج الإسلام حضارة. نحن لا نعلم الطالب فقط المنهج الدراسي، وإنما نعطيه جملة من البرامج مثل الإسلام حضارة، وهو برنامج يقدم في 30 ساعة تدريبية. كذلك أيضاً تصحيح الفكر، لأننا بحاجة إلى أن نصحح فكر الشباب ونعرفهم بالإسلام الحقيقي. وأنا على صعيد المرأة كان لي هذا الكتاب سلسلة كاملة نساء مشرقات، أعرض فيها سير النماذج المشرقة في التاريخ التي صنعت سلاماً وصنعت نهضة واقتصاد وتعليم حقيقي، لأن المرأة كانت تعرف دورها حقيقة. هذا الكتاب كان عبارة عن محاضرات في إندونيسيا بمساعدة الدكتور دين شمس الدين جزاه الله خيراً، وأسميته إلى ربات العقول. أتحدث فيها عن قضايا المرأة من التمكين والمساواة والتحديات، وما الذي يجب على المرأة أن تفعله من أجل استقرار الأسرة، لأنه لا يمكن أن أصنع سلاماً في المجتمع دون أن أصنع سلاماً في داخل الأسرة. كذلك أيضاً هذا البرنامج أعددناه للنساء، وهو برنامج صناعة القيادات النسائية في 30 ساعة تدريبية، كيف نصنع المرأة القائد التي، ولا أعني بالقائد صاحبة المنصب، وإنما المرأة التي تكون فيها من صفات الصبر والصمود والجد والاجتهاد والمثابرة، لأن المرأة هي التي تصنع الرجال. ولا يمكن أن أتصور مجتمع يبني نهضة دون رجل قد صنعته امرأة استطاعت أن تصنعه جيداً. كذلك أيضاً ما رصدناه من الحالات تفكك الأسرة، كان هناك الأسرة وقضايا المرأة. إذن هذه البرامج قد تعب فيها كثيراً وأخذت وقتاً طويلاً، وتم إعطاؤها للعديد وأثمرت. لماذا لا نستفيد منها؟ ولماذا نبدأ البناء من الأول؟ ولماذا لا نتعرف على ما عند بعضنا البعض؟ إذن نحن مأمورون بالتعاون، وتعاونوا على البر والتقوى، وهذا سبيل من سبل التعاون، أن نعرف ما عند بعضنا أولاً لكي نستطيع أن نتعاون. لأن إعداد المؤمن القوي هذا واجب، كما قال رسولنا صلوات الله وسلامه عليه: المؤمن القوي خير وأحب إلى الله من المؤمن الضعيف. ولم يحدد القوة، قوة في العلم، قوة في المال، قوة في الاقتصاد، قوة في العقل. إذن هذا الذي ينبغي أن نتعاون فيه. وأنا أرى أن هذا المنتدى لابد أن يعرفنا على تجارب بعضنا البعض ولو في كتيب نرصد فيه هذه التجارب. شكرا والسلام عليكم.
شكرا لسيدة نهلة على هذه التبيينات والكتب الموجودة إن شاء الله. نحن we are left with 6 minutes. We have time for 2 speakers. Please.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
we have young girl from
Housekeeping announcement.
Scotland.
Time is over.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. The young girl is the former Secretary General of the Muslim Council of Britain, Zahra Mohammed. Good to be here with you all in Indonesia for the first time. I wanted to give a more Western European British perspective on this point of reaching the middle ground. Particularly, as you said, Mufti, we are at the time of extremes and polarity. We are seeing the growing rise of the far right. And I really wanted to speak to young people. What would be the incentive for them to follow a middle way in a time of extremes? You're seeing social media, AI, as you were referring to, perpetuating such a polarization. You're either with us or against us. Trump, Musk, and a time of populist personalities which are being normalized in our politics in a way we've never seen before. And the political punching ground is Muslim communities at large, really. Minorities, refugees, asylum seekers. I guess what I really wanted to ask all of you or really consider is what are we doing to empower young people in a path of peace and diplomacy for the middle way in a times where extremes will get you more clicks, more popularity? How are we encouraging the youth to want to be in positions of leadership and to be elected when the front line is very, very difficult to maintain and a middle path seems almost impossible at a time of great extremes? I've spoken on so many panels now in the rise of global Islamophobia and how Islamophobia agendas are not only making billions of dollars from hate, but they're building platforms, they're organizing in political parties, and also they're challenging the very core of our faith and belief, which is that the middle way pays off too. If we consider the global leaders of our day and age, who do we really think embodies for young people a popular middle way? And I guess that would be my conclusion, which is how can we attract young people to a middle path when it seems extremes are far more attractive?
Thank you very much. This is the voice of youth. And we wish you that your future be better than our past, inshallah. And now, I think it's time is over, almost. And I would ask kindly housekeeping announcements from our leader of World Peace Forum, Sheikh Dean Shamsuddin.
I am not a leader.
To tell us what we have to do, please.
I am only housekeeping officer. I want to make the housekeeping announcement. Soon after this session 1, there will be 3 side events or 3 special sessions. Number 1 is a session of the International Advisory Council of the Global Fulcrum of Wasatiyat Islam, which is chaired by Professor Dr. Mustafa Sherik, will be at Candi Dieng room. Candi is temple, Candi Dieng room in this floor. Number 2, there will be a special session of the Global Forum for Muslim Women. An organization will be founded during this meeting and will be chaired by Professor Dr. Nakhla El Sedi. The meeting will be at Candi Panataran, also in this level. The third special session is Muhammadiyah International Network, attended by the invitees from sister organization of Muhammadiyah from abroad. The International Advisory Council consists of only 17 figures. I read it. Allow me not to mention the title. Mustafa Sherik, the chair. Nahla Sobri El Saidi, Ambassador Saleh Tekaya, Sheikh Abbas Shuman, Mustafa Desuki Kesba, Egypt, Hujjatul Islam wal Muslimin Dr. Hamid Shahriari, Iran, Ahmad Mainu, Japan, Professor Osman Bakar, Malaysia, Mufti Ilyas Safianov, Russian Federation, Syekh Ahmad Al-Sabban, Saudi Arabia, Syekh Muhammad Ridwan Rilans, South Africa, Profesor Lutfi Chapakia, Thailand, Sir Iqbal Sahrani, United Kingdom, Imam Muzammil Siddiqui, he didn't come, from the United States of America, Shafiq Mughni, Indonesia, and Dr. Atta El-Adsobati, Egypt, and myself, the 17th as chairman of the Global Fulcrum of Wasatiyat Islam. Please be ready at Candi Dieng. There is a sign, just go out the room, turn left in the second floor. For the Muslim women, all Muslimah participants, female Muslim participants from all over the world, and also chairperson, chairwomen of the Indonesian Islamic Female Islamic Muslim Organization, semua diundang, also in Candi Panataran. For the Muhammadiyah's International Network, I don't know, they are invited already from overseas, at Candi Sari. Just go out the room, turn left, and find the venue of your session. The coffee break, short coffee break behind the door, you may take it soon. Supposedly, the meeting begins at 4 o'clock. It's already 4 o'clock, until maybe 5:30, an hour and a half, as-sa'a wan nus, sa'a wahida wan nus. Be ready 6:30 after Maghrib time for the Muslims. The bus are waiting, and we are going to the Ministry of Lower Education of Indonesia to have a dinner with Minister of Education at 7 o'clock.
Here.
No, at the ministry. We go by the bus, not too far, maybe 2 hours drive. And now, half an hour,
Thank you.
It's good, casual, whatever you want, if you are still wearing the batik. I think the organizer is providing batik for foreign participants, but so sorry about the size. We don't have triple X like Professor Mustafa Sherik, maybe doesn't fit you with triple X. The batik, whatever you want, casual. Be ready 6:30 in the lobby of the hotel, and we ride the bus. Please enjoy a quick, fast coffee break in the room behind the door. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi.
The first session of the 9th World Peace Forum is closed. Assalamu alaikum.
Please give appreciation to Mr. Moderator.
information to all participants. Please kindly leave. Firstly, please kindly do not bring the translation receiver device. Please kindly leave it in the hall. And also, for those of ladies and gentlemen who brought back the device used from the Parliament this morning, please kindly return it to the committee. Thank you.